Welcome to Brew with Miss Baritone. I'm your host, Chicky Baritone, and this is my podcast. I'm gonna give it to you all black, no creamer, no sugar, no honey. So join me as I brew up some life-giving conversations with some dope people. Mark, welcome to Brew with Miss Baritone. How are you?
I am well. How are you today?
I am doing good. Listen, I am happy that you're my first guest on the podcast. So this is really awesome.
Give it up for me.
But listen, I want to tell people there was a reason why I invited you on. I have been following you for a very long time, probably since 2017.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
That I've been following you. Ooh. So, first of all, for people to know who you are, because I don't want people to take my word for it, where are you originally from and how did you end up in Atlanta?
Okay, yeah. So I'm originally from Morris, Georgia, which is a super tiny small town country boy.
Okay.
To the heart. And then I migrated after my grandmother passed away. She was my primary caregiver. And then I migrated to Phoenix City, Columbus, Georgia area. Wow. Joined the military from there. Went to VA for about I want to say maybe about 4 years I was in VA, and then I got orders here to Atlanta, so it like a full circle came right back to Georgia. So once I got out of the military, I decided to make this home.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So what do you do? I know there are several titles too of what you do as far as your gift, being a spiritual advisor, a leader to high achieving entrepreneurs.
Yes.
But tell people, I would want you to go into a little bit more detail about what exactly you do.
I make up terms, so this is the closest thing that I could do to define who I am. I feel like I'm the entrepreneur's pastor. And so I say that because I remember there was a time I was trying to find my place in my space where my gift was really alive. Yeah. And I envied the pastor in the context of the pastor has domain over multiple spheres of influence in our lives. You know, not just spiritual. Your pastor can talk to you about relationship. Yes. Pastor can talk to you about finances. Talk to you about so many topics and be respected in each of those topics that are even outside of spirituality. So, when sometimes people tell you in the entrepreneur space, like you gotta limit your conversation. So there was a phase I was only talking about money management. And then there was a phase I was talking about marketing and social media marketing. So that was just an attempt to find my space. And so I remember someone saying, you're like the entrepreneur's pastor. And it just stuck with me because I was like, yeah, that's it. My day in and day out. I'm pouring into entrepreneurs. I'm listening to them. It's deeper than just business. Yeah. You know, it's personal because the personal does affect how we do business. And then there's a spiritual component that a lot of entrepreneurs are missing. You know, sometimes they wonder what's the hang up inside of business and not really realizing that it's mindset, it's ego, it's pride, or it's you haven't forgiven somebody that is taking up all of your creative energy and space. So I guess, I'm the entrepreneur's pastor. Like, I say that if you enroll in anything I'm doing and I have influence in your life and you commit to the process, you're going to see a transformation. You just have to. Awesome. Like, it's just facts.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is not new to you. Mm-hmm. You have literally been an entrepreneur before you knew what the word meant.
Yes.
So talk to the point in your life where you realized what it was, that you were able to recognize the gift of entrepreneurship.
I'll say in high school probably was my defining moments of knowing that it was something a little different about me. I was always interested in creating organizations. I remember I guess I was putting together this petition and I was going to take the lunch ladies and I was going to get them on news for serving us bad food. You know, like I had created this whole flyer and, you know, was going around getting signatures. You know, I was just thinking I'm the SGA president, you know, student government president, you know, and I did that. I made up an organization. I became the president of like the poetry club, captain of the cross country team. I was just very outgoing, and it was a natural thing for me. It wasn't. You know how sometimes you can tell when somebody trying to do team too much, like
Yes.
you really trying to be the boss, but you're not the boss. It's like that naturally came to me without me trying. And so I remember at class night where everyone kind of got to say a little something about each person. And they told me, Mark is the little guy with all of the big ideas.
Wow.
And I thought that was very powerful to be in high school and your peers, even at an early age, knew that there was something peculiar about you. You have a lot of big ideas, so that stuck with me when I got to college. Once again, still very outgoing. I remember I was doing a campaign to run for student government, and I came up with this idea to put air fresheners around my neck. Yeah. And my whole campaign was vote me as your president so I can freshen up the campus. I'm just different,
I love it.
And so that's my life of creating things and mobilizing people, and I thought it was just everybody's story, but no, it's my story. And so that led me into, I think of '08, I started to realize like I'm actually an entrepreneur, and starting businesses, and that's been my life ever since. It's just been lasering down what area I'm called to in this space, but this is just I didn't dream about it, I didn't think about it. It's who I am.
Absolutely.
At the core.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now you're in an era where social media is really big on multiple levels of our lives. It really depends on how we utilize it.
Yes.
As far as it affect on our lives.
Yes.
So it's not, people like to just blame social media, but that's just not, it's not fair and it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
You really have the power of controlling how much of that is a part of your life.
Yes.
But something you said, you had a post on IG. I was all in your business. You're all in your IG business. And you said something so powerful, and I want you to expound on it. But you said that people have made social media standards the measuring tool to their success. Social media standards. Tell me a little bit more about that and how social media plays a part on people comparing their entrepreneurship journey with other folk.
Yeah, that's such a deep discussion and a great question. I used to say that social media is like a double-edged sword. It's like so powerful, it's so beautiful at its core. And then there's also the bad part of it is that like there was a time, as you said, like continuing to growing through this space of social media. When I first started, we had, I believe, maybe Facebook, and MySpace was kind of phasing out.
That's right.
YouTube and those other platforms were still emerging.
Yep.
I remember being in the military when Instagram was only available for Apple users.
Wow, I don't even remember that.
It used to only be available for Apple users.
Wow.
So until I got an iPhone, I wasn't even exposed to Instagram. So it's a good thing, because it's such a powerful tool. But on the other side of that coin is that there was a time where I didn't know what you were doing, so I couldn't compare myself to what you were doing. And so now that we're exposed to what every single person is doing, it just puts this unjust pressure on us to perform and to show up a certain way. If you go back to my social media history, there were times I was just literally sharing just random things, but I didn't care. It wasn't this whole feed has to be beautiful, pictures have to be perfect.
Right.
It was just, this was an opportunity for us to just share our lives. We were taking pictures of our plates and our dogs, and, and then all of a sudden it became this brand. It became this business. It's important. And so it turned into this thing of who's who. And now it's this pressure of performance and, did enough people like my picture?
Yes.
Am I not good enough? And, I'm not going to sit on the sidelines and pretend like I haven't been guilty or sucked into that as well. But one thing I believe God told me was to get out of the rat race. And what that represented for me was I have to be myself, whether 1,000 people like it or 5 people like it.
That's right.
And I also have to be grateful that if I'm able to touch one or two people, who am I to say that those people don't matter because it's not 1,000?
Yes,
you know,
that's
so
good.
it really just made me start to question my motives, my ego, my intentions, because I think we all start off in a pure place, but
Yep.
it kind of just transforms into something else, and now it's I need more followers, I need more influence, I need
Yeah.
more. My pictures are not good enough, and so I just now do my best to just show up as myself. And there was a time where I would put up a post, if it didn't get enough likes, delete. You know, and it's like you're protecting this fragile ego.
Wow.
And so I'm working on that. I'm not gonna act like I'm just, oh, this is
Sure.
nothing. You know, it's a process. You know, because social media does play such a huge part in our lives. So it's balancing that out for me of figuring out, okay, do I really want my authentic voice to be out here, or do I want to play? And I don't like playing. You know, I prefer to be real, and that you embrace me for who I really am, and not who I pretended to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said something, because your voice on social media over the years, I will come across your post. And Mark, you literally have such an authentic sound in a world of social media that has a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of successful people
Yeah.
on social media. I'm not discrediting that. I'm not saying that there are not influencers that are really doing well.
Yeah.
But everybody's not telling the whole picture.
Yeah.
And you made a point to tell the whole picture.
Yes.
You have been very transparent
Yeah.
about your journey, and
Yeah.
it has not all been pretty.
Yeah.
Why is it important to you to share with people the whole picture?
I feel like as a leader, it's my job.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that it's sad that I have to say it like that, because you would think everybody would think that way, but
Yeah.
I just came up in a time where I just believe you got to be integral. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't get off on knowing that I'm deceiving you just because I didn't paint the entire picture.
Yeah.
And I know what especially if I know what your perception is. And I don't take full responsibility to correct that and say, no, my man, no, sis, this is actually how it really is. You know, so I think that's my job. And sometimes I feel like maybe it does cost me the next big door, but I'd rather get to the door when it's right and not when it's forced, because I want to come in the door as myself. I don't want my story to be minimized or changed. And I feel like if you just show up as the real version of yourself, you give people the opportunity to say whether we want to rock with you or not. But I never have to worry about changing because I showed up as myself.
Yeah.
And the person that didn't, now they have to worry about, can I keep on this image? Can I keep on, this is not the real me? And I feel like that's a level of bondage. So I rather tell the honest truth. And I was even thinking about that yesterday, you know, that this question has come. I was thinking about it yesterday that there have been times I've thought my voice of being transparent was how can I say?
A hindrance?
Maybe a hindrance, you know, because I just always feel compelled to share.
Yeah.
And even with my partner, sometimes he says, save something for, like, you know. But I've always felt this urge of God telling me everybody shares when they overcame the battle. Few people talk about the battle when they're going through.
That's very true.
And so I remember just my relationship with God is Him telling me, I want you to start sharing while you're going through. Because that's when you can grab the most people. Everybody knows 10 years from now, you're going to have a story about how you overcame and how you beat this and how you. But who tells you, hey, bro, I'm right here with you, just a few steps ahead, maybe. But I'm getting through it, and you can too. And I think that takes a level of courage. That takes a level of power. That I'm not going to wait until the scars have disappeared to tell you about a time that I struggled. I'm going to show you there's a scar right now, but I'm still getting through this. And that's why I've been decided to be vocal with taking antidepressants, testosterone therapy, just doing things for my mental health. Telling how I was chasing six figures because I felt like that was the standard, you know, and really minimizing the fact that I, you know, did really well last year in my business, but it wasn't good enough. And it was all because I was comparing myself to somebody else. So I've decided just to be honest, truthful. And as a result of that, it's like people rock with me harder. You know, they like.
And you literally like put your numbers out.
Yeah.
I mean, which there again,
Yeah.
that is not something people would normally do.
Yeah.
And you know, and the thing too, Mark, is when you tell a lie, you have to tell that lie the same way every time.
Same way, because people looking.
Right. So to be deceptive means that you got to remember.
Yes.
To be in that, tell that same thing, that same way over and over again, and you and I both know it never happens that way. You're never going to tell that same lie the same way. It's kind of like the exercise. I remember back in kindergarten, you will get in a circle, and it was just to prove the point that you can get information here, but by the time it gets to the last person, it's going to be different.
Thanks, I love that game.
yes, exactly. So I admire that, and it's just not common that people are being honest about it. And you have been, you know, through this journey, you've even went back to work. You posted where January 23rd, you posted, I decided as a full entrepreneur after doing this for 3 full years, I'm going back to work.
Yes.
So talk about that decision and how you went about going about doing that.
Because I realized something I took a sabbatical in November, and sabbatical was AKA I was about to shut everything down. I was like, I'm not doing it no more. I'm tired, because I was running hard, but my motives were it was just wrong. Like I wanted to, and I didn't realize until I had this breakdown. I didn't realize that I was still needing some level of validation. I was still wanting to sit at a certain table. And so all of this pressure that I was putting on myself wasn't really internal. It was coming from me, but it wasn't inspired by my authentic vision and dreams. And so when I started to ask myself, what is it that you really want and what makes you happy? I realized that business is a part of me. What I do and my calls and my passions are a part of me altogether. But I'm such a big, how can I say, just I'm multifaceted. So business and entrepreneurship only fulfills one aspect of me. I didn't realize, because we don't paint this picture, when I left corporate America, I left my family, my work family, people that you see Monday through Friday, that you literally do life with. You they know about your kids, they know about your life, they know you're friends with them, you go lunch break with them.
Right.
And so when you chase this fire my boss type of mindset, you also fire your coworkers and your friends and the holiday parties and the business picnics that you kind of low key complain about, but you actually enjoy when you get there. You know, the office drama, the office mess that you really don't supposed to be a part of, but you really like, yo, this is good. And I had this whole idea that full-time entrepreneurship, it was gonna be me and my friends. We were gonna be taking trips. You know, we was gonna be at Starbucks. You know, we was gonna be working on our businesses together, and it was nothing like that. You know, because I guess some parts skipped in my conscious awareness that they're running their business too. So they're probably gonna be at their house doing what, and we can't really work on things together because that's their business, and now this is my business, and we're not a team.
Right.
And so while I was very profitable inside of my business, I realized that it didn't bring a level of fulfillment that I want to be a part of something that's also bigger than me and also have things that I'm a part of that I lead. So last year was the best year I did in business, but I was the most miserable in business because I didn't realize that point. Like, it takes more than one thing to fulfill me. And so I was chasing this goal of, okay, full-time entrepreneur, replace my salary. I should be happy. Why am I not satisfied? Why am I not fulfilled? It's because I miss being around people. All the things I do were virtual. So from 6 to about 9, I worked and then I was done for the day. So that my highlight of my day is already over. And so, you know, people was like, well, just create more things inside of your business. No, I need to be a part of something that I do not run. I just want to be a part of something bigger than me, whether it's church, whether it's a group. I have to be a part of multiple things. I have to feel busy. I have to have things on my plate to do. And I realize that if I don't, my mental health starts to decline because of that. You know, like I got to be a part. And I get it now when the older generation begin to retire, and then you start seeing the older person at Walmart, or you start seeing them doing different things.
Right.
It's because I need something to do.
Yeah.
Everybody just thought your happiness would happen when you stop working. No, it's actually, we as humans, you need things to do. You need to be a part of something. And so I realized that I needed to be a part of something. So going back to work was for my mental health. It was for my business to become a fun thing for me to do again. And now it's fun. So it doesn't feel like a burden anymore. It feels, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the balancing of that too is probably nice.
Yes.
You got the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And you posted recently, which I can relate to, is, I've been juggling doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I have my business and I also work full time.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing was, as long as one is not screaming louder than the other, I can manage them both. And it's really a great, healthy balancing for me. But one of the things that's a part of your business that I really love is you have these morning acceleration calls.
Yes.
So talk to them about what that includes and what goes on in those calls.
Yes, that has it happened out of nowhere. And so when the pandemic took place, I was getting very lazy. I wasn't waking up on time. I wasn't doing nothing. And so I reached out to a few friends. I was like, hey, I want to start waking up at 6 a.m., and it started just coming as this, group FaceTime call that we did, still in the bed, hey, I'm up. Yeah, get up. And so it slowly morphed by showcasing on social media. It's slowly morphing. More people wanted to join to the point where FaceTime wasn't really a good place to house it. So we moved to Zoom. So we did that for about a year or so. People was joining, and then we monetized it, I want to say in 2021, and I've been monetizing it ever since, a monthly subscription. But it's a wake-up call. It's family. It's spiritually based. We challenge each other. We pour into each other. There was a young lady that just joined my community. I think she joined the other day. And because this community is also spiritual based, I told two of them, I said, I want you to speak life into her, just randomly, and didn't even realize of some of the things that she was going through, but she was in my spirit. And then God just prompted us. He said, I want you to sow into her. So I did not ask everybody, just sow into her. And we gave her $500 on the call, not realizing that, there were some things that were about to be repossessed,
Wow.
And so it's that type of work that we do because somebody would tell her, you got to focus on your business. You can't focus on business because
you can't.
Even I don't care how gifted and talented you are, when there's pressing issues in your life, it's going to impact how you do business.
Absolutely.
So just doing that type of work, seeing entrepreneurs go from, making nothing in their business to closing $15,000 a month, and knowing that the money is only an outward reflection of what's going on internally.
Yeah.
And so I'm not even, celebrating the money. I'm celebrating the transformation of who they are becoming just by committing to waking up, getting on a call, being a part of the right environment.
Yes.
And so, so I love it. It's a joy. It's a privilege. And it's life changing. I'm not just saying it because I'm over it. I just see life changing,
And it's a part of what you said as far as that compartment of what you do, and the fact that it's spiritual components to doing what you do. It's not just having the gift, but it's also the spiritual components.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. This I literally could have talked to you for more time, but I have other guests.
Yes, we could have went on in.
But I am going to make sure people know how to reach you, how to get in contact with you. We'll include all of that information on the podcast and for people to join. So thank you for being here. I appreciate
thank you so much. Thank you.
Yep.